You actually never used hot sauce before.
I can't smack the bottom of it because it might go flying everywhere.
He gets one high in the air. Left field. This one's got a chance. And let's go on a cowhide. Joyride. Sound the horn. The RailCats clear the yard.
Hello, RailCats fans, and welcome back to the RailCats Talk podcast. He's Chuck Polarek. I'm Kyle Svetich. And this morning I woke up and I was motivated by the Facebook post and the stories of the players out on the field for spring training today that I decided that it's probably best that I cut my 4-inch tall grass that's outside and make it beautiful like the steel yard and behind me. So, Chuck, we have players on the steel yard getting
I
ready for
know.
spring training.
I know. I know. Big news, right?
Big, this
Uh,
is huge.
lot of things. Guys showing up. Um, you know, getting to know each other. I've been hearing great things.
Hmm.
So yeah, great news. Great news.
We got 16 pitchers and 16 position players entering camp, not cap, at 32 players. So could have signed one more here or there, but didn't. No big deal.
Right.
So I know that roster is going to dwindle down a little bit, but it's going to be interesting to see. There are the storylines of you got three catches in the rotation, so you'll be battling out for that. You got some infield positions open up, outfield, and obviously the pitching staff. You got a handful of new people that are coming in, so it's all going to figure itself out on that
Yeah.
front. Um,
Normally, so you said we had what? You said 16, 16.
yes.
So normally we would go 14 pitchers. So it looks like you're going to probably cut back two there. Two catchers. So you're going to cut back a catcher. Uh, and then whatever gets us that's 16. So nine more position players. Is typically I think what we do to get to our 25. And also Lamar likes to put a couple of guys on IR
Hmm.
um, to rotate them through so that he doesn't have to cut everybody right away. See what kind of irons it out in the first couple weeks of the season. So
Yeah. And I'll tease it now, but Chuck wanted to play a game, and I don't think we came up with a game quick enough for it. But I did get my signature hand signed from Andrew Mild himself, the
yeah,
mild sauce. So funny.
please tell us how you almost got killed.
So funny story. When we were on our dinner date with our friend on Monday, when they released last week of the sauce, and I said I have to buy the sauce, and $12 and then $8 for shipping made it $20. Fast forward to today, I'm driving with my wife, and my wife goes, "Why did you spend $20 with the RailCats?" And I said, "I bought the hot sauce," and she may or may not have, hit me in the throat. Um, and she said, "I thought they just sent that to you." Nope, they did not. I mean, they did send it to me
No, they
after
did.
I spent $20.
You
Uh,
gave them $20 and they gave you hot sauce. That was the
yes.
trade page.
But you know what? It's worth it because Andrew Mile did hand sign this, and he said be very careful with the uh the smudge. It does come off, and it looks like my wife might have touched it and smudged it a little bit, so I may have
Uh,
to reprimand her for that one. But
so
anyways,
so you will not be sending that off to PSA to get autograph certified and graded. That's what you're telling me.
I'm not going to. I
Okay.
believe Andrew. When he did message me saying to be careful with the signature. So
Right, right.
um,
Well, I figured you'd get it graded so that you could pass it down to your kids, and then your kids could pass it down.
yeah. But I want to say one thing is this is a really cool idea. Obviously, it's probably going to be in the team stores when we do go. I think it was just a hand select of like the signature just to start out. But this was really cool idea. They had the off season thing with the hot sauce and incorporating his name into it and doing the whole promo thing. So this is a really cool thing. And I'm a big
I
hot
think
sauce guy, so
I think it would be cool if it was there at the concession stands for us to
and
drizzle on whatever it
it,
is.
it, it might possibly because you drizzle it on, you're like, man, I really like this hot sauce, and then you go
That's the
right
way it
to
always
the
happens. That's the way it
so
always happens.
that will be at the end. I will live test. I didn't, we mentioned last week about the shot glass and doing it after they hit a home run. I didn't
Right.
have a clear shot glass, so I got a spoon. So
Okay.
I'll try it off the
I don't.
spoon.
I don't want to wait.
Well,
I don't want to wait.
you don't want to wait?
No.
So you
I
want me to
want to
just
know.
you want it now instead of
Yeah.
going through? Okay. All right,
Yeah.
Chuck, you filibuster this real quick while I get this open. Okay, you
Okay.
you
So
you talk.
so we get the hot sauce. Um, and we get to deal with Kyle and his face being red the rest of the podcast. This is going to be fantastic. A phenomenal idea to not wait till the end because I would like to know if he has to run off uh, because it is too hot for him. Um, but we will see. Yeah, make sure you shake it up real good there. Yeah. And we get the I think is
I'll
this going to
unmute
be the
myself.
first live? Is this going to be the first live demo of the hot sauce in the
Mm,
history of hot sauces?
that does smell really good. I'll give you that. And for those that are interested in it, um, there's five peppers. It's only on the two, so I don't imagine it's gonna be super warm. For you connoisseurs of the hot sauce that love like super hot. I mean, it is mild sauce, so
Right.
is it false advertisement if it's super hot? Maybe, maybe not. But here I'll
I had my money thinking that it was possibly ketchup. So we'll see.
I'm afraid I'm gonna get this everywhere.
That's what we're paying for.
I'm gonna make
That's
sure
what
I get a
we're
nice healthy amount
that does not
dabbled
look
on
like
top
there's
of
much on
here.
it at all.
I'm working on it, Chuck. It
Jeez.
only
You actually never used hot sauce before.
I can't spec the bottom of it because it might go flying everywhere.
Oh.
All right, hold
All
on.
right, that
Okay,
I think that's
I think that's
fantastic.
good. So I don't know how well we can see it on the camera. I'll lower
There we go. I
see
think
nice
it's
nice little
bottoms up.
spoonful.
Bottoms up.
So here we go. I can't just go right into it. Oh, this smells so
Fine.
good. Why? It's an
Bottoms up.
anticipation. It's
It's
suspense.
oh, okay. All right. There it is.
Mm, I really like it. I
Yeah.
especially like the you know, some hot sauce you don't get the actual peppers in it.
Right.
So this definitely has the peppers in it. You really got a nice healthy dose of it. You can kind of see some of the pulp of it on there.
Nice.
Not super warm. It's that nice flavor. I mean, it's got the little bit. I'm starting to feel a little bit of it at the end there, but definitely something that you would put your hot, a good taco,
Okay.
a very good
Great.
burrito, some sort. It
Great.
doesn't matter. Great, yeah, sure. Whatever you said, that's fine.
I mean, no, I think that's great.
Yeah, that this is definitely um I think I would replace my my Frank's hot sauce for this. So and I like my Frank's red hot sauce. So
Well, you
good
really got
job.
a standpoint though is you could get a lot of Frank's Red Hot Sauce for $20.
Yeah, but see this is
But if
helping.
that's $12 at the stadium, you don't have to
Listen.
pay that
This is the
$8.
official hot sauce of the RailCats. All right.
Right.
Tell me what other team has an official hot sauce? Okay, with their announcer on it.
Right. I
No
know. I
one.
know.
No,
It's
not a single soul.
really it's priceless is the words I'm using.
Exactly.
Priceless.
I'm making memories here. Right. I'm
Yeah.
the unofficial official hot sauce of the podcast. Too.
You
How
know
about
what?
that?
I think you might have liked it so much that you probably need to go on your phone right now and buy three more.
Um. Yeah. That actually might justify the $8 of shipping though.
Right. Right. So, buy three more. Let
Mhm.
me know if you survive when your wife kills you. Uh, and then we'll talk about it.
Yeah, sure. We'll go with that one.
All right.
On the other note, as those who follow me on Twitter or X or I should say the podcast, not like my personal, but I'm
Right.
during baseball season, that's my personal one. So, anyways, you know that I work at a sporting goods store. Some people can guess what sporting goods store it is. I mean, it's really the only major sporting goods store around Northwest Indiana. Anyways, that's sometimes the benefits of working with the public. And sometimes at the beginning of the season, there may or may not be players that may need equipment. And I was managing Saturday, and I see a 6 foot tall, 6'5", 6 foot, however tall he is, guy come walking in, and I recognize him. Where I recognize him from, not 100% positive. And then I see another person I should have recognized him. And then I think what I think is Nate. I see Nate Alexander. I said, "Oh, that's Ethan," and then that's Baron. Ah, I got it. I was going to say hi to him, but it got super busy at work. Super busy. Well, anyways, they were doing their shopping, and then Nate was hitting in the golf simulator, and I snuck my way over there, and I said, "Hey, you might want to charge that guy a little bit extra." And Nate turned around and he goes, "Who, me?" I said, "Yeah, yeah, you." He go, "You may not recognize me," and then he goes, "Oh, how's it going?" Then he recognized me. We had a good conversation, and he's really excited for the season. He had a baby girl in the off season, so she's about 7 months old. He was talking about his experience in Mexico and how he learned, built some confidence from that, got to face some really good hitters. He also told me that there was a plan if he would have stayed in Mexico, that if the RailCats were on a playoff push this season, once the Mexican season were to end, Josh and him would have come back. So there is a possibility if we're on a back half of push for the playoff, we might see Josh Smith back with the team. He, like he said, he just feels really good about the team. He said a player that he's really excited to see hit is Nick Olsh. He faced him in the Pioneer League in Ogden, and he said he's one of the best batters he's faced. And the independent baseball, whatever you want to call it, on that front of it. So I'm really looking forward. Off of his comments, it seems like the locker room's going to mesh a little bit better, and we do have something hopefully brewing within the team, and that we can get back on the winning ways. So good conversation. It got me away from work, so it was always nice.
Well, I'm going to say that I am very disappointed in that conversation because I think that it could have been something along the lines of security guards throwing him to the ground and then saying, "Ha, it was a joke." That would have been a great way to start that conversation.
Why? Why would I want?
Because you have all the keys, man. You're the guy. Security, security, get out there. You should have
We
swarmed
don't
them. You know,
we
swarm, swarm.
we don't have security that works at the club.
There goes that.
We have the cops. We have to call the cops. So,
Yeah, this is disappointing.
but
Disappointing.
my golf lead was very impressed with Nate's ability to hit a golf ball. So
Nice. Okay. All
yeah.
right.
So
All right.
yeah.
My from my thing is I did some digging. We discussed between me and you that appears to be a new hitting coach.
Hmm.
And that it also appears we've got a new trainer. I've been told by multiple people and then saw it online. So Adam's no longer there. We got a new person. And then the other thing is that Brandon appears to be the only clubhouse manager this year.
Oh,
So good job, Brandon. Hope you put that normal effort into it, and I know you will succeed. So great for him.
yeah. The trainer you're speaking, which Lou Bustos, probably said that horribly wrong. But the hitting coach, as you may see on there, they probably hired me to have his last name put in there,
Right,
Chris Jacobs, spelled Jaocbs instead of Jacobs. But
right,
that's nor here nor there on that one.
right.
Um, Obviously, you had it confirmed. I was trying to confirm it before I mentioned anything, but you had it confirmed from other sources.
Yep.
I like this hire. Um, he is 36 years old. Uh, he was drafted to the Los Angeles Dodgers in the 17th round of the 2007 MLB draft. He bounced around from the Dodgers. He played 3 years with the White Sox and a year with St. Louis, all in the minors. He did reach Triple A with the Charlotte Knights of with the Chicago White Sox. But he did play, let's see, one, two. 3 seasons in the American Association with Sioux Falls and Fargo Moorhead. He did play with Sussex County, who I believe is in the Atlantic League now, but at that time was in a different league. Looking at his career, he had a batting average of 274, but in the uh, MLB Partner League at that time, independent baseball was 297, and his last year with Fargo, he batted over 300. He had 17 home runs that season. And yeah, I like it. He has independent baseball experience. He is a guy that shows that he can hit the ball and he can hit the ball with power, which I know not necessarily works for the steel yard, but it could end up working itself because
Oh,
not all the time do you need to hit the ball out of the ballpark, but be able to hit it with enough power to
yeah.
get it over people's heads or into the gaps.
Yeah,
So,
I think the big thing here is that, a lot of times when there's talent, you can't teach talent,
mhm,
right? So for him to have an eye to be able to, tweak those little things, make those small changes to people or help people with those small changes is great. But I think, like you said, the big thing he brings is independent league experience and being a guy that has been in the league for a while or had
mhm,
been in various different leagues, right? He comes with contacts,
yes.
right? And so that network is something that comes along with it. The ability to be able to uh, communicate with this person, that person. Hey, this is what I'm looking for. That's what I'm looking for. Um, that's a huge move.
Yeah, I like it. It's a nice little move. Um, Fresh eyes, and it's not even. I wouldn't even say so much. It's the context. I mean, the context might help, but I don't know what he's been doing for the past 6 years. So I looked into seeing where when he played in 2019 to now, when I didn't see anything. Um, but just the ability with the grind. I mean, you have a lot of players that come from affiliate ball and they come back down to MLB partner leagues and they just don't know how to handle the shell shock of maybe coming down. And he has that experience of, hey, like we can get you kind of through this. And I think that'll help people's mentality versus having two guys that are in that were in MLB organizations and they come down here and they're expecting it to be like MLB. And it's not always the case. You have that mental side of it and the grind is a tad bit different. So I like the move and I think that's something that we've also discussed is and something that I've believed in that we've had to have some kind of major or MLB partner league experience just for that reason.
I agree. I agree. Yep. To me, that's a big deal.
And then I told you right before we started, do you have a storyline that you want to go with for the 2025 season?
Oh man. I think the big thing is going to be patience at the plate. I would like to see um, those numbers increase with the walks uh, and playing the small ball. That's the kind of team that I love. That's the kind of team that works out well with the steel yard, and really seeing us try to capitalize on that opportunity. You're playing 50 games at home, so why not take advantage and play the type of game you need to play when you're at home?
Um, my storyline is one going to be consistency, and two, when we go to the games, I know there was a big thing last year was the clubhouse scene that you mention all the time. The players just sitting there, not really paying attention to the game, necessarily not getting into the game. I would rather it be right from the get-go of everyone on the fence jabbering away, having a good time, wanting to be there and wanting to have a fun time. And I think that that's what we're kind of going with. And I think having the moral boost of having a team cohesively work together makes the experience better. So when you have a better experience, you are looking at having fun when you go to the ballpark. So when you are in tight games or you're winning, or even when you're losing necessarily, I'm not obviously we don't want a season like we had last season, But when you have those tough losses, you know you have a team that can bounce back. You know, if you strike out or you make a bad play, you come back into the dugout. I was like, hey, you're all right. We'll get them next time. Like the just the communication, the cohesiveness of the group.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be the big storyline because I think there's players here that have talent, and the talent has to show, be consistent. But I think at the end of the day, if you have a crumbled, broken locker room, you're not going to be successful no matter how good the team on paper is. And I think that's maybe something we saw last year is that
Well,
we had
and
a
yeah, the big thing I you mentioned that is last year nobody was having fun.
mhm,
You got to remember you're playing a kid's game, and you're getting to play it as an adult, and you're getting to play it in front of people that have paid to be there, right? And you should be enjoying it just as much.
mhm,
And I think last year there was a lot of frustration with people individually. They were frustrated with themselves, that things weren't working the way that they wanted it to, and what have you. I think that that needs to change, and I think that the big change in the locker room will help that. Um, yeah, we want to win, but there's something to be said about having fun that aids in that winning, right?
yeah,
If the guys out on the field are angry at themselves or down or frustrated, they don't get that interaction with the fans don't get that interaction with those players. The fans then turn on those players and make things worse,
mhm,
and all of that stuff. Whereas the other opposite can happen, right? Instead of spiraling down, we can spiral up. Guys out on the field are having fun, which is causing the fans to have fun with those players, which is causing the fans to then come back and enjoy themselves even more, right?
yeah.
So hopefully, that's another one of those things that we hit is that the players are having fun.
I agree. I did speak with Andrew about potentially joining the show, and silly me, should have known. Asking 2 weeks before the season starts, probably not the brightest idea.
Yeah.
But we will have our season preview, just kind of go through the list of players again, and then kind of, uh, obviously we're facing Milwaukee, so we'll kind of go over like what we did against them last year, so on and so forth, and maybe get into the Cleburne series. Man, maybe not because I don't know. That's for here nor there. Not how I'm going to decide that one. But anyways, with Andrew, if he isn't able to join, he said he would just send me a message of what his storyline and what he kind of oversees with the team. Obviously, it's going to be positive. That's he's promoting the players, so I'm not. And that's what we want. We want positivity going around these players. That's what I want to know what storylines that he may have that we can kind of follow and see. What's this player and that player, this is so on and so forth. So
Well,
if we don't
who,
get him on, it might just be a message. So I was just letting you that I was hoping for it, but silly me, it's a little late for that. So,
yeah, well, nobody's ever accused you of being an Einstein.
well, yeah, I know
So
that.
so there's that, right? But here, let's think about this. A couple weeks ago, we were very down.
Hmm.
Nothing was going on. We've got nothing to fulfill our hey, we need some baseball. And now we've gone and done a complete 180. We're excited about this season. We're not thinking we're going to get less wins than last year, which there was a period of time where we were thinking that, right? But actually thinking, hey, uh, it looks like some changes have been made. Looks like we've got some players to fill in some gaps. Looks like we could potentially have some leadership, from a player standpoint, right? And hey, maybe Lamar put the pieces together the way that it needs to be done. I'm going to give him the chance, and I'm excited to see it.
Yep, it's gonna be right there. Yeah, we're gonna have one podcast left of filling, and then we're gonna have baseball. That's
Yeah,
it. It's about darn time.
you know, well, I mean, it's 2 weeks away, right? Um, yeah.
I mean,
If,
and by the time this comes out, it's going to be 2 weeks away on the date, on the dot of the home opener against
right,
Cleburne. So
right.
we'll have 3 games on the road, and then it's right back to the
There's
Steelyard for six
there's a
games.
lot of there's a lot of things that I would like to say right now, but I don't have any hot sauce that I would have to take a sip out of if I said those.
Yep. That's you know what? That's what we're gonna do. We're don't worry guys. We're gonna come up with a game throughout the course of the year. I will personally buy Chuck a bottle of hot sauce so he can enjoy the game. So every time he says said word, he could take
Right,
a dabble of the hot sauce or a
right,
shot of the
right.
hot sauce.
There
So
we go. There we go.
um
Yeah. So there's a
well
word that I would like to throw out quite a few times right now, but I'm not allowed
w-
to.
we will save that for
Brian
when
has Brian has said that we say this word way too many times.
yes.
So
Right.
if you would like to guess what that word is, please put it down in the comments.
There you go. Yes. Chuck, do you have any final thoughts for the week?
I do.
Okay.
Yeah, I've got two players here now. Great guys. Went out and had dinner with them last night. Uh, Great stories. One guy from New Jersey and one guy from California. So you couldn't possibly go any further across the United States to bring two guys together. So that's very cool. But both of them said they've listened to the podcast. That's insane to me.
You know, it makes me happy that there are people that do listen to it, and out of all the things that we say, I just want people to understand that we mean no ill will towards anyone. When we say things, we're just speaking it from what we see, and we're not in the clubhouse. We're not in with anything. So I don't want anyone to feel that we may be bashing. Not saying that I don't think we do that, but if you're listening to it and you do have an issue or rebuttal to what we say, hit me up. Just message me and say, hey, I think you got it all wrong. We love to tell everyone's side of the story, so it's just not us two hooligans watching a
Yeah.
baseball game and saying, you know what, we know this better than you do, and we
And
really don't.
you know, it's interesting because when we talk to people, whether they're affiliated with the RailCats fandom or they're affiliated with independent baseball fandom, we always get the same response. You guys are too easy on them. You're too easy on this person. You're too easy on that person. We constantly get that, and I don't agree with that. I believe that what we are is we're respectful to those people. We try to be, right? And we talk about, hey, this is the current thing that's going on, but we're hopeful that things can change. I
Yeah,
think that that's the big thing is that a lot of people aren't when they get in these situations, they're not hopeful that things can change, and they want excuses for the reason why things are the way they are. Me and you, that's something we have in common is we're both hopeful that things can get right back on the right path.
yeah. I also look at it as this obviously our what we say is out there on the interwebs for everyone to hear and everyone
Right.
to see. I work in a public environment. You host players, so I it it's hard for me to be on the far end of the spectrum, or it's easy to sit behind a keyboard or behind a camera and a microphone and sit there and bash people. I think it's more difficult to find the even ground with being respectful enough to the players because you are at the end of the day, if I say something and you're affiliated with me and now you have to host these players, that looks bad
Yeah.
upon yourself. And
Well,
it's the same thing with you is if you were to say something and you are hosting the players, then that looks, you don't want to fracture that relationship. And that's what it comes down to is fine, is
it
the
does.
fine line.
But the other part of it though is that that's not who we are,
No, I
right?
agree.
I mean, that's just not who we are. We're not the type of people to go out there and bash things or whatever. And I mean, there's some things that we can harp on over and over again, and want answers to, but I think that we always do it respectfully. At least I hope we do.
Right.
And yeah, I mean, in essence, we've got RailCats as in the title of the podcast. Uh, We do that without any kind of true affiliation with them, right? Um, we are respectful and grateful that they allow us to do that. And yeah, we're just fans that want to um, talk about baseball. That's what it is. And we could be like Major League, where it's like, oh, this crap again, and all
Hmm.
that stuff they show at the beginning, But no, I think that every season is a restart. It's we go through winter where all the bushes die and all the trees, leaves fall down, everything. We got a rebirth in spring, and here we are.
You are not wrong, good sir. You are not wrong. But yeah, I if you have nothing else for this week,
I'm good. Let's
I
rock and
do
roll.
not. I know I don't really plug this kind of stuff, but just looking through statistics, there are 75% of people that listen to this or watch this are not subscribed to the YouTube channel or on Spotify or anything like that. So
Come on, guys.
if you want notifications when things go due up, be
Oh,
sure
let
to
me
hit the subscribe
no,
button.
let me say this. Let me see this. Uh, I've got some goodies here, right? I've got some little knick-knack things that are RailCats related. All right. We get some people to subscribe to stuff. Kyle, get me a list of people that subscribe, and we're gonna raffle off something. We're gonna give away something good in the next 2 weeks. All right.
We
So
we we are at 93 subscribers, so we're seven away from 100, and 100 is a big goal
let's make it
in
happen.
general, but
Make it
we're
happen.
almost there. So
Let's get to 100. Let's give something away. I got some pretty cool stuff from historical Railcats. Might be a team set of cards from, let's say, 2009. It might be an autographed Northern League baseball by Kelly Joe. I mean,
yeah,
hey, got a lot of cool
or
stuff.
a pin from legend Jay Pesci that was just on the podcast. So he's got it sitting right there, or not a coin. It's a coin, not a pin, but a coin.
Yeah, got
He
got
got
coins
coins.
right here, man. Got the Greg Taggart coin,
Up
right?
there, you go.
I mean, got some cool stuff. So I'm gonna give away some stuff. Let's get these guys clicking on some buttons, man.
Well, with that being said, he's Chuck Polarek. I'm Kyle Svetich. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day, rest of your evening, whenever you're watching this, and go Cats.
Okay, it's
The 0-2. Swing and a miss, strike three. Wrap this one up in green and white.